work and brought you in.
Yeah. Well, then we went and did a whole piece around that, and I've got all that stuff too. And and the safety numbers just got better and better and better. And John led all that. John will tell you the story personally. He went every time someone had an accident, he went and sat with them in the hospital. And if they cut a finger off or something, he went and sat with them. And it was a very powerful, walk like talk, live it at every level of the organisation. And I worked with him and Malcolm Doig. So Malcolm was the head of that part of that program. That's how Malcolm really got into all this work. So you want to talk to Malcolm as well. And he used to run around and he was a great middle engineer communicator type, Scotsman, tell me the fucking story. So, Malcolm would get out there and tell these stories, and we made the thing very personal. So rather than just being a statistic, if there was any accident whatsoever anywhere in Woodside, even someone driving their car to work, we would get the personal story out of it. This is who is it, get them to tell their story. They go around the company and tell their story to everybody. They would talk about the impact on their families and themselves, the emotional side of it, and one of the senior managers would go with them. And so we turned this into a sort of not just a statistic, but personal, look after your friends, care for each other, which is a lot of what the safety was about at the front line. If you look at what was happening at the front line, people would see stuff and not say it. Hierarchy, not my job, or, all that sort of stuff. We just got that out of the company, and the safety performance just got very, very good, actually, and improved a lot during John's time. So that was the second piece of the work, the safety.
And when John left, did the culture change? Did it revert?
You'll have to ask him that, but to some degree, absolutely.
That's always the risk. That's got to be. That's a more general question, I know now, but that's got to be one of the real disappointments and challenges in this work, that you get the change, and then of course it doesn't last because the people that actually go through the change themselves decide that they want to do something else with their lives.
Well, the most dramatic example of that was ANZ, where Mike Smith was completely opposite.
Completely what?
Completely the opposite to John McFarlane, Mike Smith. And I'll tell you that whole story about John McFarlane, Brian Hartzer, who now runs Westpac, is the guy that should have become. He was the guy who believes in all the stuff, and now he's brought it into Westpac, man, so it's all good. But so all the ex-facilitators are working with him at Westpac, bringing all that culture, this senior group, and So, but this, John left. They brought in this guy who was just old school, British, hit him over the head, hit him harder, work better type character, didn't get it at all, egotistical, self-aggrandizing, terrible. It was shocking. And anyway, it was a battle for control of the soul of ANZ between Charles Good and John McFarlane. And it's all about ego, and I'll tell you that story separately. But
sorry, when you just talked about the shot, when you talked about the shot,
yeah.
You talking about Akehurst's replacement, or are you talking about McFarlane's replacement then?
McFarlane's replacement. So Charles Good was chairman of both companies. That's how I got to work at ANZ.
He was chairman of Woodside and ANZ at the same time.
Yeah, and he saw what was happening at Woodside and said to John McFarlane, John said, we've got a culture problem and I can't seem to get it to move. And Charles said, well, there's this McKinsey guy who's been doing this really interesting work at Woodside, and you should have a look at it. And that's how I got introduced to John McFarlane.
And do we have, in the same way that you sort of showed me some, figures, and we can get some more detail on the Optus call centre, can we measure, the changes and the output, the performance, the,
everything,
the revenue, what have you, profits.
Behaviour shifts, because you measure this stuff in a number of different levels. So you say, people coming out of workshops, how do they feel? How do they feel 6 months later? Has it changed them? How do the people who they work with say, is my manager better? Right? Things that you want to happen, behaviours. Are they having conversations where they're, do people who work for them feel like they're getting quality feedback? Right? Behaviours. performance of organisational units who are doing it and not doing it. Because we went, some of it we did, some we didn't, and the difference in performance over time and tracking them against each other as a control group sort of thing. Because you don't do everything at once, and some people are less interested, and so, you know. And we've got that for Woodside and ANZ. Then company performance. How did it shift? How did it shift relative to expectation, to the market? All that. I've got all that. I've got the detail on every single measure, and I'll send that to you, and it's very compelling. I mean, it's incredibly compelling.
Is that, will you be sending that to me in document form, or is it something best to give to me at Christmas? What's the best way of sending it?
And pull out the 10 major pages like I did with Optus and send them to you. I won't be able to do it till I get back.
Yeah.
Because it'll take me a bit to find it, but hang on, just to go outside. It's good. But I've got it all. And it's, you know, there's 10 pages and it's all there, and it's, you know.
I've really got a great picture now of where this is going. This talk and the Optus talk is great, and as soon as we've finished, which I think probably has to be fairly soon given your trip, I'll send this on to Wasaf, his name is, the transcriber. But I think, do you feel like that captures what we needed to capture?
Yeah, I mean, I think with Woodside, the best thing to do now is to go and talk to John and Rachel and some other people, and because they'll have more of the who did what to whom, what did it feel like for them, and David Wyatt, get more of the sort of timeline and the story and, you know, what was going on. I will get the 10 or so key pages and some of the key presentations. I have got every workshop at Woodside, every single workshop, what we did, what happened, all the notes. So you and I can sit down and look at, and I'll go back and have a look at the first ones with the top team. You know, I kept all this stuff because this is when I was really starting to say, okay, now I've got to learn, and I would I'd look at every workshop afterwards and review it, and so I've got all that stuff in boxes here.
Okay.
And I spent a day pulling it all in the right order, so it's all there ready to go. So the most challenging thing for me now will be, I mean, after it's transcribed and I get the other interviews with the Optus people and, you know, with what's her name, Alison and Greta, and then do the Akehursts and David White. But it's to make this stuff really accessible, right? We want, you know, up till now in the book, I think the story jumps off the page, right? Yeah. Yeah.
And we want this to jump off the page.
Make it accessible is, you know, it's, you know, the sense of what was going on, and people know these, you know, in Australia, there's companies and stories, right? But it's more, you know, this sort of the people stories, I think, is what will bring this alive. I think in Woodside, it's going to be John Akehurst's story and Rachel's story.
Yeah, I agree.
And it'll be like, it's, you know, it's life changing, right? And there's thousands of people's lives who are changed by this, and we're just going to have a few of those, like the Johns, and then a few lower down. They'll give you some people, and some of the Dutch. You know, a lot of this whole Abacan thing that now happened in Holland came from some of the people who were the Dutch ones that went home. And
is that right?
You know what I mean? Mm. Yeah. It's amazing, right? It all sort of the whole thing, you know.
These Calvinists suddenly turn to mush.
They do. So I think the way, it's challenging, David, and I think the way to do it is through the personal stories.
Mm.
And I think the thing for me that we need to get is, that's why I tried with the Optus thing this morning to say what were the 3 or 4 big ideas in it. You know, there's the thing about the values, there's the thing about meaning, there's the thing, you know, about inner lives matter and mindsets matter. There's 3 or 4 things that were like fundamental to that.
Yep.
Right? And in the Woodside one, and there's a couple of personal stories, you know,